is a lot of positive things to look at. I think the thing that you and I have talked about that probably still bothers me the most are the progressives who are insistent on, still trying to beat up Joe Biden for what's going on in Gaza. And, I've heard some of them saying, well, I cannot with my conscience go in and vote for Joe Biden because he's allowing genocide in Gaza. And my only question back to that is that will your conscience allow you to say to the women, to the LGBTQ community, to the Black community, to the, every other community that is downtrodden or that has issues in this country, are you going to be able to look them in the eye? Because if you're telling me that Gaza, which is horrific and it is terrible, and it is a war that was started by somebody else, not by Joe Biden, are you telling me that's your number one and only issue? What is going on here?
Right. This is exactly how I felt. Can we back up 1 second back to Trump?
Of course.
And his numbers, because I also want to laser focus on Nikki Haley and what Nikki Haley is able to pull out of these states. And if she's pulling out that 39.8% or whatever, and Trump's only, barely getting his 60, that's problematic to Trump.
Yes.
In these states, Nikki Haley is getting way too many votes. So that means that those people are probably not going to vote for Trump. And even if a few did, maybe 10% of those said, you know what, I'm just going to hold my nose, vote for Trump. You still have 30% of Republicans that are either going to sit it out or vote for Biden.
Well, they made it clear in a lot of the exit polling that they will not vote for Donald Trump. They've made it clear, and it's been, significant. And that is a big deal that nobody's talking about because Joe Biden doesn't get clicks. He doesn't sell advertising. Donald Trump does. So you got to keep him in the news constantly. And that's, to me, what makes me sick about our American media now is it's not really about, because again, if it's really true, if the American media was really stepping up, then every fucking day, instead of hearing about Joe Biden's age, or if you want to talk about his age, you would at least counter it with, man, he's old, but let's take a look at everything he's accomplished in 3 fucking years that no other president that we can remember has accomplished this much with such a divided Congress. It's spectacular what he's been able to pull off, whether you like or you care about the initiatives or not. It has been nothing short of phenomenal. So if the media was really, serious about this, they would report on that more, but they don't because everything's about Trump.
I mean, well, the good thing is, he went on, was it Jimmy Kimmel or whatever it was?
It was Seth Meyers.
Yeah. So he was on that, and it was a good interview, right? He was asked about his age, and he was like, this guy is, almost old as I am, but you know what? Donald Trump's policies are old, or whatever he said. It made a lot of sense. We saw him getting some ice cream. So just seeing him more. I did hear that they're going to start buying up billboard space and putting Trump's picture on there with what he said about Roe, how he owns it, to remind people, and they have the money to do it. So I do think that it's going to start happening. I really think that they're waiting for after Super Tuesday before they really start hitting him, and they are going to hit him. And then just to back up real quick about the people because Michigan is happening right now, the Michigan primary, and that they had the campaign there to write in uncommitted. Very disappointed in Beto O'Rourke because he came out there and told people to write in uncommitted. Of course, we know at the end of the day, Beto would support Biden, but it's very dangerous, and I'm very disappointed in him. Very dangerous because of this, and Brian just touched on it. It's just not a smart thing. We have to remain united. a whole bunch of things can be true at once. Like Brian,
Correct.
Gaza is horrific. How did we get to Gaza? We speak so much about Gaza, we forget that there are still Israeli prisoners that need to be saved, right? So Biden is damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. He's in an awful position. He has made it perfectly clear that he doesn't agree how Israel is going in, to find Hamas, right? He's made that clear. It's not his war. It is not America's war. There is only so much that Joseph Biden can do, and that's try to get him to tamp down how he's going about doing this. Get a ceasefire, maybe get a plan, right? That's it. He's not going to say don't get your hostages like that. That's the thing that's not going to happen. He's not going to say to Israel no more war while there's still hostages, because we wouldn't have done that during 9/11. Like there was no way we were going to be like, you know what, towers are down, cool, we're gonna stop. That's just it's bad.
It's a tricky situation. I mean, I think a lot of the pro-Palestinian people or the people talking about Gaza I think they're just more disappointed in the fact that Joe Biden has not cut off the aid that probably would end the war, because it is my understanding that there were even people in Israel saying, if they cut off our aid, it's over for us. We can't really do anything.
Can we do that to an ally? Like, isn't that our ally over on that side of the world? Like, we kind of need that ally. Is that kind of what it is? That's why we've been allies for a long time, because I thought Israel helped us over there in the Red Sea or whatever is going on. Like
I think Israel as a nation is our ally, but I'm not really sure Netanyahu.
Well, not him. No.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the thing, is that they're talking about a guy that took over. Like if Donald Trump is running this country, I'm not sure places in Europe are necessarily going, that's our ally anymore, even though technically they are.
Right. Netanyahu wants Donald Trump to win.
No question.
He wants, because Trump will let him do whatever he wants.
No question. So does Putin.
That's how we know there's a problem. And that's how we also know that Biden is doing the best that he can. And Biden has got to be put. If Netanyahu wants Trump, that means that our administration is putting pressure on Netanyahu. And for us to be out here saying we're going to punish Biden does not get punished. Let's be clear about this.
Right.
You writing uncommitted, you not voting for Biden in the general election does not punish Biden. Biden will go home. He will retire with Jill, and they will live the rest of their happy lives, because the things that are going to impact us, IVF, abortion bans, mass shootings, those things are not going to impact him whatsoever. So you are punishing the rest of us and your damn selves.
Well, I think there was another state, I don't know if you recall, that tried to do sort of a similar campaign, and it didn't even come close to working. New Hampshire. Yeah. And I'm just hoping that maybe Michigan kind of shows the rest of the progressives and everybody that keeps trying these campaigns that it is just another gigantic Joe Biden blowout, and that they kind of go, all right, this isn't working.
I
think maybe we should change course.
Yeah, and they were saying that the campaign wanted their goal was 10,000. Someone had pointed out that during Obama's administration that there was a campaign against him, and the goal, and it was like 20,000 people voted uncommitted or whatever.
So they knocked it down to 10.
Yeah. So now if it's 10, like that's kind of nothing, but it is something, right? Because Biden does care, and we know he cared because he tried to talk to them when he went there, and they refused to talk to him. And his administration has been in Michigan, not him trying to, to talk to people. But again, Beto, very disappointed.
Me too. And before we move on, real quick, back to Nikki Haley. What's her play? She's staying in this race. Is she hoping that Trump is eventually going to have to sort of drop out because he's going to jail? Is she setting up for future? What's the ultimate play here? Why does she continue to stay in? Because my horrific feeling is that when this is all over and she has to drop out of the race, she's going to do what every one of the rest of them did and go canvass for Donald Trump and just give him the support. Now, she doesn't. That's a big deal. But what do you think?
So I don't think that she can be in the race until something happens to him, because Super Tuesday is coming up. So nothing's going to happen to him before then.
Right.
So
That's true. That's true.
that's
Yeah,
not
you're
going
right.
to happen for her.
But is she thinking maybe down the line he's gone and then she was number 2 and then she can, I don't know. Does she hop back in somehow? Is that how that works?
If I can do my woman thing,
Yes.
and put myself where Nikki Haley is, I wouldn't drop out either. And I wouldn't drop out because I'd be like, fuck that rude motherfucker.
Right.
I'm just going to be here and be a thorn in his fucking ass.
Yeah.
Even if at the end I have to turn around and say that I support him
Then
because
what's
I
all this
want
for?
to, right? Because she has future aspirations, and this is what
Okay.
the Republican Party is. Like, we just got to be real with that and try to understand that it's either you fall in line or you retire like the rest of them had to do, right? Like, she wants to stay, so she's probably going to end up supporting him. And I think that this is her, and I don't like her. Let's get this clear. But I just kind of think that this is her way of just hitting him. And it's almost like it's cathartic for her at this point. Like, it seems every time I see her on the trail and she's talking and she's saying these things, it seems like she's just saying everything that she's always wanted to say the whole time that she's known. Even when she was in the administration, she's just spitting it out,
Right.
because she knows at the end of this, she's got to fall in line. Like, she knows it. And I think that's just what she's doing until she's at the end of the line. And if she didn't, then I would respect her more. But I think that if she wants a career in what else is she going to do? She can't even run in South Carolina, right?
Right.
Like, she can't even do anything in her own state because they rejected her for Trump. So at least if she went and supported him at the end, maybe she could go back to South Carolina and do whatever. But
I think she's made it clear too, because I think there was an interview that she did and she said that she still thinks that Joe Biden's more dangerous than Donald Trump, which is insanely ridiculous.
Yeah, she knows better. I know. I feel she's lying, and I think that she's young, so she doesn't want to end her career. She's not going to just do that. Like, Christie he doesn't care. She wants to run again. She'll probably run for president again.
Yeah.